Okay. So I think we are streaming live, and here we
What?
go. We are streaming live, and so let me start the recording. Start recording. All right. Today, Jenna Rosenberg, it is such a delight to get to meet you, to talk about you, to speak with you, to really get to celebrate the launch of Amazing Woman Rise. You're one of the contributing authors, and I feel so blessed to have been a part of this beautiful book. So the title is Amazing Woman Rise: Ignite the Infinite Power of the Feminine Heart. And it says, lean into your biggest dreams, amplify your true worth, unleash unbridled spiritual confidence. So with that, I celebrate and actually um, welcome you to just really have this conversation about why you decided to participate in this book and what it is that you want women to know when they're thinking about igniting the power of the feminine heart.
Thank you, Becky, so much for having me, and to Marsh Angle for thinking to include me in this really beautiful book for women. I'm so honored, and I've thought about this topic so many times during my life and during my career. I actually studied women's studies in college and really did a lot of thinking about, are women and men the same? We're equal, right? But are we the same?
Right.
And it took a lot of thinking for me to realize that there is a tremendous power and difference in being a woman and being a woman leader, a woman in business, um, and really embracing that and recognizing that that is part of my superpower, is that I can lead with empathy and lead with my whole heart and really trust that that is an important piece of how I make my decisions and how I choose to live my life. And that though that understanding makes me a better person and a better leader. And it's not something that I need to push down to be the same as everyone else in the room. And
No.
it's something that if I can acknowledge it and embrace it and then really harness the power of that to use it in unique, different ways, it can really ignite the world.
Isn't that beautiful? And I think about it as far as the young women that are coming up behind us and how we can lead by such example. And maybe they won't have to go through the things that we've all had to go through to get to this point, to be able to shine where we shine and be good with it, to just know that it's all good.
Yeah, I think, it's funny. My mother always called me her sunshine. And I think about this concept of shining and shining on and owning our brilliance. And I think when for sure, when I was a young woman, I didn't want to stand out too much. I mean, I felt that I had more to offer. And I think my energy, um, my ideas, my energy, it couldn't be hidden, but sometimes it made me feel big.
Yeah.
And not that I wanted to feel small, but it's not always comfortable
It can be
to,
scary.
yeah. And sometimes it's a lot of energy coming at people. And, definitely as I've matured, I've gotten a better understanding of how to, I don't want to say not come on too strong, but not to scare people with my big ideas and my energy and kind of ease them into it to an extent. But I do think it's important. It's important for everyone, especially women, to use their power and to shine on and not feel that they can't be the biggest idea in the room because someone else
Absolutely.
is going to um, be bowled over by it. It's important because not everyone has those ideas or that vision. And so we need to let ourselves go down that road because it really could be helpful for other people.
Absolutely. So that begs the question as to the why is because as you begin to embrace your own feminine heart, what's one of the biggest shifts that you personally have had to make and what you've experienced in your life, in your business?
I think it's really having a deeper understanding that we each come to the table with a unique perspective. For me,
Mhm.
I feel very led by this concept of social good, and um, that I do understand that not everyone's thinking about that all the time. And for me, if I can bring the perspective of like, how can we layer that in to whatever I'm working on, I feel, I guess, a responsibility to do that because I do understand that even with the best of intentions, other people aren't always thinking that way. So I think, you know, part of my why is I'm very deeply empathetic. I understand that people are really having a lot of hard times and different challenges in their life. And I feel really drawn to lead and drawn to be helpful and to use resources that I see and that I come across to help others. But also, I realize I have a bit of a vision for realizing how to make things a win-win for people and for companies. And so, because I'm able to do that, to connect dots in ways that sometimes other people don't see, I guess it sort of encourages people to lean in and to get more involved. And so, because of that, I feel like an obligation, a need, a personal desire, but also like a bit of a responsibility to be the one that steps up and suggests these things because it takes people, creating opportunities to create action.
Absolutely. Well, you have a beautiful spirit and you're gorgeous, is because
Thank
you
you.
allow yourself to shine. And that's some of the biggest important things because sometimes we don't let our light shine. Sometimes we just don't feel qualified or feel beautiful or whatever the way it is, but we are each individually all just amazing. So what changes? Here's the how. What changes or new actions that you've taken has supported you in making this shift um, in your life?
Yeah, I think I've been doing what I do for almost 30 years and in a lot of different roles on agencies, sort of for hire, social do-gooder and storyteller for companies and brands. I have my own company. I've worked inside publicly traded companies and smaller companies. I But I think, in the last year, especially, I've really set intention to try to create space for myself now after doing this for 30 years almost to really focus on the types of projects that light me up.
Yes.
And, I'm lucky to be in a position to do that after all these years, but I'm trying to think about what fills my bucket and how I can be the most effective, from little things, little shifts to big shifts, right?
Mhm.
I know that I thrive in a beautiful space. And this is my office. I create a space for myself um, to be able to think and to be able to just really vision what I think should happen for the future. I really try to notice serendipity happening all around me. I think there's a lot of serendipity that happens in the world, and there's a lot of details that emerge and show themselves to me that spark my creativity and give me ideas for connections for how I can implement new programs or suggest to companies and to people that I know things that they should get involved with to help make the world a better place. And I think what I needed to do, is really create some space in my mind, in my day, um, to just give myself the room to notice these things versus, life can be so busy.
Oh, powering through the day, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mother, I'm a business owner, a friend, a wife, a daughter. I have a lot of obligations, but
So many
I
roles
also
we play.
realize, for me to be my best self and for me to put all the gifts that I have into the world, I really need to be intentional and remember self-care. It's really hard. It's very
It
hard for
is
me to do that because
to find the balance.
I have a really huge to-do list, but I really try to make time to also just give myself quiet time to think, because I have a lot of my best ideas when I give myself that grace.
Awesome. So in closing, what is one empowering thought or message or quote that you would like women to hear from you today?
I think it's really own your brilliance, own your shine, and don't let anyone dim it, because you have something really special and uniquely your own perspective to bring to life. And I wouldn't say we only have one shot, because we can keep reinventing and recreating as we go along, but you do only have one life. And
Yes.
to make sure that you are not just going through the motions, I think I feel drawn to this idea, turn on your heart light and,
Mhm.
let it shine. And just in life, I think, do that.
That's beautiful. Really beautiful. Turn on your heart light. That just really connects, because I think we all can get into just this fast-paced rut that just keeps us unconnected, and or disconnected is probably the better word. And here we are today because we know our feminine power. We have so much ability to make a difference with who we are as women.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Becky.
Thank you for the beautiful interview. And for those that are watching, be sure and pick up a copy of Amazing Woman Rise. These buttons across the bottom of the screen will take you directly to, so you can click on any one of those buttons. Amazing Woman Nation website, their Facebook page, and get the book today. And it'll bring it up right into a URL, so that it'll be there for you when you're able to go click through. What a privilege to be able to speak with you today and continue to share, continue to stand in your light and let your heart light shine.
Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you. All right. We'll celebrate today.